Okay, Math 8 students, we're on to part 2, where you're going to be using Desmos.com, which is a graphing program to analyze these different systems of equations. I'm going to show you a quick example on Desmos so you can see the basics, and then I want you to go ahead and log in there. You actually don't need to log in, just type in the address and go to the website. So this is what it will look like when you go to Desmos.com/calculator. I'm going to show you an example where we do y equals 1 over 3x. Now, notice if the x is in the denominator like this, you're going to have this curved line, and this is not a linear equation. So what you have to do is delete the x and push the arrow over and have the x on the far right. So now we have 1/3 x. That's a straight line. I'm going to add in a -1 intercept. So -1 is the intercept, and this is a slope of rise 1, run 3. Now to add a second line, you can click below, or you could just push enter. I'm going to put y equals -x plus 7, and you'll notice it graphs that line for me there, and it will show me where they intersect. I can also drag along the graph, and this will show me all the solutions to the purple line that I'm dragging along and all the decimal answers to either of these lines. Now, to adjust how things look, you can go up here to the top right where it says graph settings. Projector mode will darken everything, which is kind of nice. Also, these extra little grid lines, sometimes those I think are distracting, so I like to take away the minor grid lines. So now that's a lot cleaner. If you push this home button, it'll move the origin, the 0, 0, back to the center. And of course, you can zoom out or zoom in using these buttons or using the touch screen. Also on the left, there's a little edit list button here. You can change the colors of the line. You can change if they're dashed or not. So you'll notice here I did red and green, done, and now the lines are red and green. So that's how you use Desmos. So what I would like you to do now is go to Desmos.com and then type in the two equations you see for 2a. So graph the system 2a, and I'd like you to enter in where the graphs cross. So if you did 2a accurately, this is what your graph should look like. You could have different colors, and they cross at 2, 1. I'd like you to try 2b next. Please enter the system of equations you see on your paper. If you did that one accurately, it should look like this. Now it says, where do the graphs cross? So where do they cross? They never cross, okay? Hopefully maybe some of you will remember what these kind of lines are called. It starts with a P. They're called parallel lines, and parallel lines will never cross. They're like train tracks. They will go on and on forever. Next, please flip over your paper and try 2C. If you type in 2C to Desmos, you'll get graphs like this, and you'll notice they cross at -4, 2. Please try 2D next. Here I have changed, so when I went and changed the color, I also changed these lines to dashed and dotted, so you can see that this actually is a line right on top of itself. So when it says, what do you notice about these two lines? Hopefully you were able to notice they are the same exact line because it's a line graphed on top of itself. And so what I'd like you to do is take the second equation, 2y equals 2x plus 4, and I'd like you to do what we did in part 1 on this sheet, which is get the y by itself. Isolate the y and write the equation in slope-intercept form. In order to write this in slope-intercept form, we have to divide everything by 2 to get rid of the 2 times y. So therefore, when you divide everything by 2, you should get y equals x plus 2, and you'll notice the first equation and this equation are identical, and therefore that is why when we graph them, they are the same. On to part 3 on the next video.